Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2005 in the Oakland Raiders franchise mode, and we're looking over some standings. We're finally late enough into the season where we can look at some standings and put some stock into them, okay? Now, we have a pretty good view of the playoff picture as it currently stands. We have a lot of teams logged up at that 6-5 range right now, including our opponent today in the Miami Dolphins. So, you saw the Ravens were at the top at 9-2. I wouldn't worry too much about them. We might be seeing them later in the season if things go really bad for them. But for right now, we're not really in the realm of 9-2. We're only a few games off, but we have to win a lot of games. We've already won 2 in a row. But can we try and make it 3 against the Dolphins, who also have a lot of stock riding on this game? They need a big game here in their home turf, or dirt rather, their home infield, I guess you could say, because the Marlins still play here in this sim. But we also have a lot riding on this game because we're trying to claw ourselves back into a playoff picture. And with the way that the West is going right now, like it's still on the table that we could even win the division. Hovering around 500 is just not going to cut it. We know it's not going to cut it because we did it the first 2 seasons of this series. So we got to win this game, obviously. And against the Dolphins, it'll be, I don't know, it'll be interesting. The Dolphins, after an amazing year 1 where they did go to the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure they even won the AFC East, they've been bad ever since. They've only won 5 or 6 games in the remaining 3 seasons of this series. So the Dolphins have really not been able to string together much of anything since that first kind of breakout year that they had. So that's kind of the team that we're going up against right now. They have a decent enough squad here, but they're still rocking with A.J. Feely as their quarterback. So, like, you know, I mean, how really good can you be in that sort of realm here? As Tim Couch is able to get a completed pass across the middle for a quick first down as we are already within striking distance. That's Maury Norris, the fullback, running out and making a catch here. Love to see the fullback, the receiving fullback. So 2nd and 10 we're going to cut to at the 25 of Miami, and Couch going to roll out and dump it across the middle once again. This time I believe oh no, it's Teo Johnson. I was going to say Jerry Porter, but I didn't see the shoulder pads and arm sleeves. And so I knew it had to be somebody else. And it was Teo Johnson, the tight end. He's going to get us the first down here. But fast forward to his 2nd and goal inside the 5 now of Miami. We're going to fake the handoff to Fargas. And Couch is going to throw for it in the back of the end zone. It's Justin Gage in the back of the orange turf. Or the orange end zone grass, and he is going to get himself a touchdown in this ball game here, and that's going to be touchdown number 27 for Tim Couch, and he's officially going into this game holding a 2 touchdown to 1 interception ratio. So hopefully that doesn't balloon or get worse in this game, and he can just add more touchdowns. That's what I would love, as Ricky Williams is making something happen for the Dolphins offense here. But we're going to cut to a 2nd and 10 for Miami's offense, and Feely's going to hand this one off to Williams once again. Williams going to get to the outside, breaking some tackles, and Ed Reed's got to drag him down from behind after he gets the first down. So Ricky Williams is really just kind of making things work here, as Hannibal Navy's getting absolutely bullied. Just getting absolutely bullied out here. Good Lord, pick up your pride, son. So cut to a 3rd and 14 now inside the Raiders 30, and Feely all day to throw here. He's going to dump it down towards the sidelines, and that pass is going to be made by Chris Chambers, but he is well out of bounds when that pass is made. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Dolphins are going to have to send out the special teams unit for a 46-yarder, and that kick is very much good. So Miami does at least add some points here. Good for them. We're going to get another action replay. I guess the game thought this was a very impressive kick. I don't know. I mean, it's a 46-yarder. Janikowski makes those all the time. What are we doing here? So 7-3 is the score now in Miami, and the Raiders offense is back within striking distance, and Tim Couch is going to dump this one to Justin Gage, who's going to showboat to the end zone for touchdown number 2 of the day. And it doesn't really matter who you have in your receiving core as long as you got one guy like that who can keep making things difficult for the other team's secondary, and Justin Gage is one of those kinds of guys. And it also just so happens that we have other guys who can do the same exact thing. So Tim Couch takes a bit of a shot there as he lets go of the football. Remember, we talked about in the last video how Tim Couch has been playing under quite a bit of pressure, which might be leading to his high interception numbers this year, but that time it worked out for the betters. We take a 14-3 lead over the Dolphins, and now Ricky Williams is back on the attack again across the 50, across the 40, and he's finally going to get brought down by Will Witherspoon along the sideline. But Ricky Williams is already kind of making us hurt a little bit. We don't typically get bit by the run game too much against our opponents here, but Ricky Williams is already making his presence felt here. So on a 3rd and 9 here, Feely's going to try and throw for a deep ball down at the side of the field here, and Nnamdi Asomugha, man, running in for, I don't know why they showed Najee Osama. I thought maybe he did something good. I mean, he got into the quarterback, applied some pressure, so good for him. Didn't get to the quarterback, but whatever. So here's a 50-yarder. Let's see if we get an action replay for the 50-yarder, but probably not because he didn't make it. It's not good. So he misses that field goal. Maybe that's why they thought the 46-yarder was so impressive, because that was at the apex of his range. And so that missed field goal keeps the score 14-3 after 1 quarter of play, your theatrical 1 quarter of play. And now in the second quarter, Feely airs one out here, and that pass is caught, and he's going to be brought down just a few inches shy of the goal line. It's Chris Chambers making that catch, getting brought down at about the 2-yard line, the 1 or 2 yard line. So Feely going to give it to Ricky Williams to bust it in to finish off the drive, and he does. So the Dolphins finally find their way to get into the end zone and add some more points on to their total already to cut the lead down to 4. So 14-10 your score here, and the Raiders now across midfield once again within striking distance, and Couch able to get that pass off for another first down as Teo Johnson gets himself another reception in this game. So a 2nd and 10 we're going to cut to inside the Dolphins 35, and Couch airs one out across the middle once again. That's his favorite spot on the field to go to, and you know his favorite receiver to go to is right there, Justin Gage. So 2nd and 6 we're going to cut to now inside the 10 for the Raiders. It's going to be a pitch to Troy Hambrick, the backup running back, in on that play here. I think it was a 3rd down, so it might have been the 3rd down back, and he's able to get the first down, so good on Troy Hambrick, man. Did the job. He definitely did the job. So on 3rd and goal now, another 3rd down, and Couch is under pressure, and this time the pressure is going to get home. Fortunately, he's able to get rid of the football before he is just sacked, and so it's going to be incomplete, not a fumble or an interception. He didn't turn the ball over, but he still gets hit on that play. So bring out Janikowski to at least make the lead a 7-point ball game. We can manage a 7-point lead against these Dolphins here, but you'd like to see a little bit more on offense. So 17-10 now, and speaking of offense, the Dolphins are playing some in their own end, and Feely's going to throw an interception, and so thank goodness the Dolphins were the first team to turn it over and not us, as Napoleon Harris gets himself another interception on the year. And yeah, dude, our linebacking core is just so strong. You just got to watch out for them. They're always at that second level, just waiting for a quarterback to slip up. So inside the red zone is a great opportunity, and Couch going to dump it off quickly here for another reception to Justin Gage, and that's going to get us another first down. So we're at least going to get goal to go here against the Dolphins. So on 1st and goal at about the 5-yard line, Couch wants to throw for it under pressure once again, but he gets it in the end zone for another Raider touchdown, and Justin Gage has just been everywhere on this Dolphins secondary, man. They've just got zero answer for Justin Gage. I don't know how he's this elusive to the Dolphins, but it is working out in our favor, and I am not upset about it in the slightest. So Feely's going to try and hand this one off to Ricky Williams, now heading the other way, and now we are under 2 minutes, and so the Dolphins are going to try and run the hurry up here, but on 2nd and 12, Feely is hit once again. That pass is intercepted. I believe it's Napoleon Harris again. I think it's his 2nd interception. It looked like Will Witherspoon maybe, but we'll get another look, and it is. It's Will Witherspoon. Yeah, it's a 50. Yeah, it's Will Witherspoon. Will Witherspoon now with an interception. So 2 of our top linebackers with interceptions now in this game, giving us another opportunity late in the first half. And Couch wasting no time to air it out to Justin Gage once again, because even in double coverage, there doesn't seem to be an option in the Miami secondary. I just don't know what they can do right now to lock down 87. They just don't seem to have the weapons. So 2nd and 10 here, Couch going to air it out again. This time it's Doug Jolly, the backup tight end. We have Doug Jolly on the field, and a lot of the backup guys, Troy Hambrick, Doug Jolly, man, getting involved right now. You love to see it. Love to see the activity from our other guys. It's just good to see. So 1st and goal now, courtesy of the Doug Jolly reception, and Couch wants to throw for it again. Kind of a collapsing pocket, a very awkward play to try and make, and it is going to be another touchdown to, oh my goodness, to Justin Gage, who's having himself an absolute freaking day right now. He had himself 8 touchdowns heading into the game, and now he's looking at 12. He's got 12 touchdowns on the year just because of this game alone, man. A big 4 touchdown in first half. It's all in the first half, but the Dolphins will not be silenced here. And oh my goodness, don't tell me it's going to be a kick return all the way to the house. It is a house call. As the Dolphins, Patrick Castle, one of the receivers here for Miami. He's not one of the higher listed ones. He hasn't really done much statistically on the year, but here's a kick return from him. So Patrick Castle here. And I think it's one of the newer acquisitions that the Dolphins have made. He wasn't a rookie, but I think he's one of the guys that the Dolphins have added, or drafted in the last couple seasons. So 31-17 now the score here, and on a 4th and 15, we're going to have to punt it away. The Dolphins are going to get another 15 seconds or so with the football, unless they fumble it, which they do, and it's muffed, and it's going to be a scoop and a score. There's no way. There's no way. No scoop and score. Nnamdi Asomugha is there on the muffed punt, and he's going to get himself a defensive touchdown. Great to see it for Nnamdi Asomugha, man. He had a very athletic play on a cornerback blitz earlier in the game, and now here he is with a scoop and score, and that's going to extend the lead right where we had it before the kick return. So 38-17 out of the score entering the second half, and yeah, dude, just an eventful first half of football, and we are still not done here. As Jerry Porter's finally going to get his name called. I'm sure he's been doing stuff all day, but finally we're going to get a play that matters that we're going to watch here as he gets a first down. So inside the red zone now for the Raiders offense. And now Fargas is going to get his name called as it's a pitch play to the outside edge. He gets towards the sideline and again gets a first down, doesn't get into the end zone, but gets the first down. And we haven't seen much of Justin Fargas, so we will happily take it as we're getting big help from the line, man. Big help from the line. So, second and goal now. We're going to hand this one off to Fargas. Once again, he's just going to dive forward into the end zone. He saw Ricky Williams with a touchdown earlier in the game, and he said, "Coach, I need it. I need one. Mr. Turner, I need a touchdown in this game." And so Justin Fargas dives forward and gets into the end zone for the touchdown, and that's going to further widen this lead for the Raiders, 45-17. We've seen these leads completely evaporate before, but this is quite the cushy lead that we got, and Feely has no qualms about it. He's just going to continue to air this one out as Chambers gets another reception along the sideline. Woolfolk kind of struggling in that area, but he's been playing pretty good defense outside of that. So Feely, again, attacking that same side, and it's going to be another reception. This time it is not Woolfolk and Chambers, but it is Ed Reed instead. And another Dolphins receiver. So 1st and 10 now in the red zone. Feely again just kind of letting it fly, man. He is just kind of pushing his offense down the field. And that time it is Randy McMichael, another newer receiver here for the Dolphins, making that reception, getting him inside the 5. And now Feely wants to run for it, and he gets his head taken clean off. But he does get into the end zone for another Dolphins touchdown. So the Dolphins are adding some points. Their offense has not been completely silenced, but the third quarter, that's all that would happen. So 45-24 is your score entering the final frame of this game. Can we maintain the lead here and just walk out of here safely? Who knows? Well, on a 3rd and 6, Feely airing this one out, and it's going to be caught for another Dolphin touchdown. And now things are starting to fall kind of to pieces here for the defense. The defense is kind of letting a little bit of slack in the line here, but can the offense score and further widen it? On a 3rd and 2, Couch back to pass here, plenty of time. Fires one across the middle of the field, and that pass to Jerry Porter's incomplete. It would have been an amazing catch if he did get it. I mean, that was a tough pass to try and get off. Obviously, it wasn't going to work. So on a 54-yarder, bring out Janikowski, and this is pushing his range here. Can he do it? And he can, man. That was more than good. If the wind conditions are good outside, he can do it. More than do it. I'd love to see him kick in a dome full time, but, he could do it. Hey, maybe we move the Raiders to a dome. Who knows? Who knows? But 48-31 is now the score here. The Dolphins still within a manageable level here if they can add a couple more points, and Feely able to get to an open receiver once again. A nice exchanging here for the Dolphins as that pass is completed to David Boston, of all people. If you guys can believe David Boston, of all people. So I think he had the touchdown earlier, too, the most recent Dolphins touchdown. But yeah, David Boston is here. He's been here for a while, so he's here. As Chris Chambers gets another reception on the other side of the field, and now we're going to focus on a 3rd and 6 inside the 10. The Dolphins can get the first down and not the touchdown, but they're not going to get either, as Iso Reese with an athletic play is going to break up that pass in the end zone. That's going to force a pretty difficult 4th down for the Dolphins. They obviously probably need to go for it because they need touchdowns, not field goals, but they need both set points, really. They're going to need a field goal eventually, but Dolphins are going to stay on the field for a 4th and 6, and in the back of the end zone, Feely finds an open target, and that's going to be a Dolphins touchdown. So they risked it for the biscuit here late in this ball game, and they're going to get it. So now down within 10 now, and with another defensive stop, they're going to get the football again with a minute and a half left to work in the 4th quarter. And this is how these leads, guys, this is how they evaporate. Because one score, and we are back within a one-possession game. If you can believe it, man. We were up, 45-24 entering the 4th quarter. So it's not over yet here. There's still plenty of time as Feely's going to go down now, trying to run the hurry-up. He takes way too long to make a decision, and he's eventually going to get sacked. So 2nd and 15, time taken away to about a minute left in the ball game. If we can just hold on for another 60 or so seconds, everything will be okay. And Feely hit again as he throws, but he does get rid of it this time. But there's a flag on the field, and that's because Iso Reese grabbed a little bit too much of the face mask on that tackle, so he got brought down just short enough or close enough to the line to gain. That's going to give a fresh set of downs to the Dolphins. So 1st and 10 now at about the 15, and Feely, and again in a collapsing pocket, but he stands firm and finds an open target in the end zone, and that's going to be another Dolphins touchdown. And just like that, baby, the lead has been erased. The Dolphins now find themselves down by 3. So can they get the onside kick here and make things really kind of scary for the Raiders? And yes, yes, they do. They do. I couldn't believe it when I saw it again. Yes, they do. So the Dolphins now, with one more offensive drive here to potentially take the lead here, maybe even win the game. We've been in this position before this year, and now we might be in it again with the Dolphins. Again, this is a must-win game for us here with playoff implications. We need to pick up a win here, and the Dolphins are now already within striking distance. They can at the very least tie the game if they didn't get another yard, and that might be the goal that they're trying to go for right here. So 15 seconds, it's 3rd and 3. The Dolphins, Feely under pressure again, he's hit as he throws. There's too much going on, and that ball sails into the dirt here, but the pressure gets home to Feely. He's been running all game, man. Our defensive line has just been applying that pressure, but now the Dolphins, with 11 seconds, are going to put up the game-tying field goal, and that's going to make it 48-48 with 9 seconds left. Now remember, it was 45-24 entering the 4th quarter, man. We were outscored tremendously, and that's going to bring up overtime as the Dolphins managed to pull off their miraculous comeback and tie the game up here. But we get the ball first in overtime. It's a good place to be in these old NFL overtime rules. So Couch able to get this one off towards the sideline to Teo Johnson once again for a huge completion, and that's going to at least get us across midfield. So we're in a good spot here. If we can get another 5 to 10 yards, we could probably trust Janikowski if we have to. Teo Johnson makes the catch at the sideline, stays inbounds, and cuts upfield for another first down, and now we are well within Janikowski's range. We're in a good spot in case we need that leg, but let's just keep trying to push forward if we can. 1st and 10, Couch back to pass here. Fires one off quickly, and it's another completion, this time to Jerry Porter's side, and it is Jerry Porter's going to make the catch inside the 20, and now we are safe enough in Janikowski's range where North Turner's going to send him out and try and get the game-winning field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. You know it's good. Thank you, Janikowski, for winning this game for us after our defense completely blew it in the 4th quarter. I mean, the whole team did. The offense didn't even really score. We scored 3 points in the 4th quarter, and that's not going to win you the game. It should if you're up 45-24, but we know these Raiders. We know these Raiders all too well. This is a way too familiar Raiders team, but we managed to pick up the overtime win here. This was an absolute instant classic that you really didn't expect. A trip all the way to Miami turning into a classic like this, I really didn't expect it or didn't even really see it coming, but that is exactly what happened here. So the game ends in favor of us. It ends in favor of us. The Dolphins outgained us a little bit here. They ran the ball a little bit better, which is to be expected. We didn't convert a single 3rd down, guys. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time that's happened this season. I think the 2nd time for sure that's happened this season, but we haven't converted a single 3rd down. And that is a great way to lose a game. And we managed to score all those points without ever converting a 3rd down. So I think that's impressive, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to make a habit of that. So Tim Couch did a great job protecting the football as well. This is probably one of his best games of the season. If we would have lost, I would have been gutted for him because this is actually a very, very good and impressive game for him. Justin Gage has a career day as well. Another amazing day for him. Andrew Woolfolk trying to blanket Chris Chambers kind of racked up the tackle stat right there, but it's okay. So moving on forward now, after that game, we're going right into this game against Tampa Bay. So we're not going to look at any standings yet because after the 1 week, there's not a ton of change or anything. But after this Tampa Bay game, things will certainly be different. And this Tampa Bay game is important because this is the best team in the NFL. They lost their first game and have won every single game since. They've won out. So now we are on a hot streak here, up to 7-5 now against the best team in the NFL, man. But we're back in Oakland, so who's going to win it, man? I hope to see you guys back there for this huge game.